And all right. Hello, everyone. Waiting on people to jump into this webinar, but you should all be here for the UBTECH Education Robots for the Holidays webinar. Excellent. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We have a really fun webinar planned today that's a little bit outside of the norm. So we're gonna try something new. So as always, we strongly encourage you to connect with us. If you have any questions along the way, you guys can always send us questions or request any sort of info at our email address, info@ubtecheducation.com. And please visit us on all of our social platforms at UBTECH EDU. And don't forget, if you start doing our stuff, make sure to tag us at UBTECH EDU. We always appreciate shares. And also visit us online at our website, ubtecheducation.com. A bit note, this webinar is being recorded, and we will send out a link tomorrow along with a survey. So we really want your feedback. We are also in the process of putting together our webinars for our webinar series for 2023. So please, we want your feedback. We want to know what you would like to see. We're here for you guys. So please let us know. Today, our agenda is going to be a little bit different than past webinars for those of you that have attended our webinars in the past. We are going to kick it off by doing an introduction to who we are as a company. Then we are going to kind of switch gears and talk about holiday themed coding activities, specifically utilizing UCode. I've developed a few different themed activities that I want to walk you guys through my thought process and then also demonstrate for you guys. All of these codes that we'll walk through are going to be available to you guys. So if you want to take these to your sites, feel free. From there, we are going to do a group brainstorming session. So we also want your feedback and we want you to participate with us. So stay tuned towards the end of the session. We will try this kind of new format and try to do some fun brainstorming. And then lastly, we always save time for a Q&A. With that being said, along the way, if you have questions, comments, concerns, please drop any sort of information into the chat or into the Q&A window. We will try to answer questions throughout this session. Great. So if you guys don't know me, if this is your first webinar with us, my name is Rusty Nye. I do act as the EDU product manager with UBTECH Education. You can see my email on the screen if you always want to connect with me. I do strongly encourage you to also find me on LinkedIn. That isn't a picture of my LinkedIn profile pic. So find that guy on LinkedIn and connect. I'll kick it over to my colleague, Christina, for a brief intro.
Yes, hello everyone. So Christina Davis, former educator, now educational specialist here at UBTECH Education. My email also on the screen along with my Twitter and LinkedIn handles. You're welcome to find me. We love to see what you guys are doing and we love to share those on our platforms as well. So share with us and we'll share with you.
Absolutely.
All right, so a little bit about us as a company. We are a division of a larger company called UBTECH Robotics, and they are world leaders in robotics and AI, as you can see by the robots on the screen. So we have Cruiser on the left, who's a hospitality robot, can show you around, give you directions, those types of things. Addybot in the middle is a UVC disinfecting robot, which works with many pathogens and germs out there, disinfecting classrooms or hospitals or malls or whatever you want to use it for. And then Walker is just a lot of fun, human-sized robot, excuse me, who can do things such as walk down the stairs, pour you a can of soda, you know, those types of things. So we really focus on advanced intelligent robots for businesses, classrooms, consumers, and it's fantastic what we do so that we can carry it over to the education division, which is our next slide here. So you can see some of the robots that we work on and that we can build on the education side. From our UKits, we have 3 educational UKits that you will see in just a moment. But we focus on the tech that we use at the robotics company, at our main company, and we put those into pieces like our servos that are really strong and well made. So that's kind of how we carry that over, but we focus on the education side on STEM education. So we have STEM units, we've got engineering units, we've got a lot of curriculum that goes with our kits, and you can see some of the fantastic robots there. And you're going to see our coding platform, UCode, which is used with the advanced kit, in great detail today. So that will be fantastic. Hopefully you are excited about what you come home with that. We've got a lot of sample codes to share and all sorts of fun things for you. All right, and as I talk about these, I'm going to ask Rusty to share that Google Doc link, excuse me. We're going to share a Google Doc with you guys that has webinar links. So we've got links to our website, our email, upcoming webinars, past webinars if you've missed any of those. But then what we wanted to share for this one, for our holiday theme, is we've got some robot videos. So some that UBTECH has done in the past to celebrate different holidays. And then all of the codes that Rusty is going to show you today, he has shared those. So you can download those, upload them, excuse me, right into UCode, and then you can use those as you see fit. Do note that for our holiday one that's on that Google Doc, we also have another link that goes to our website because we used that code for Hour of Code last year. So you can watch a video of Rusty going through that code. You can also find a student-facing document that helps walk them through that code. So please check that out. We'll post that again here later in the webinar as well. But as I mentioned, we have 3 different UKits. We start in beginner, go to intermediate and advanced. The beginner and intermediate are very similar. The beginner has 13 different builds students can make. Intermediate is 15. The intermediate adds in sensors, some inputs and outputs. So lots of fun things with that one. And then we go up to advanced, which switches over to an Arduino board. We have DC motors, 4 times the servos, just a lot going on. Circuitry kit, excuse me, it gets pretty advanced. So we do these for 3rd grade up through 12th or more, depending on your students. And we have STEM curriculum and various other curriculum for these kits as well. So feel free, if you have any questions on the kits as we go through, you're welcome to put them. I'm going to direct you to the Q&A this time because for whatever reason, our platform keeps changing and now I can't see the chats. So if you have any questions, if you put them in question and answer, I can go ahead and share those with Rusty as he's presenting. So if you could put them in there, great. Otherwise, anything you text is going to go to Rusty. Just know if he's talking, he might not be able to look at it in time. But these are our UKits. And now I'm going to switch it over back to Rusty to do all sorts of fun things with UCode.
Awesome. Great. So we wanted to kind of circle back and talk about, what is the focus of this webinar? Because I think it's a bit of a kind of funny theme in that robotics for the holidays. So the idea here is trying to bring STEM activities into the holiday season. You may have a lot of challenges in the classroom, a lot of breaks along the way. Yet we don't want any STEM teacher to, take a break necessarily from bringing coding, robotics, and STEM content to their students. So we thought it's a good time, great time of the year to kind of demo some of our different projects we've worked on throughout the years to develop holiday themed activities. Specifically, I focus in last year, I created 4 different activities around the holiday season. And that's what we're going to highlight here. So I'm going to kind of give you my thought process, how I, came to these activities, and then we'll demo them. And you guys have access to them, so you can always have fun with them. So the first kind of path in deciding what you want to do for this holiday season, of course, pick your holidays. So what holidays are you going to focus on? I know some schools may be focusing differently on different holidays. And then also transition and think about what tool you're going to use. The reason why I'm kind of starting here is what I did here is I picked these 4 different holidays. So Halloween, Thanksgiving, I say holiday party because this is your December themed holidays that encapsulates, all of the holidays in December, and then New Year's. From there, I'm also decided what platform, what type of tool I wanted to utilize to lead throughout these activities. These activities are intended to scale, meaning that an educator could, start with an easier one for Halloween, add complexity, up, throughout the different holidays. So my thought here was picking these 4 holidays, picking my platform, which would be UCode. If you don't have access to UCode, you will after this, and I strongly encourage you to focus on it. This is our free browser-based coding environment. There's a lot you can do with it, and we'll highlight a few of those really cool functions. The next step was to kind of set those learning goals. So what am I going to teach that are being connected back to these holidays? And you'll see that the third step will be kind of putting them together, putting that final wrapping on the present, so to speak. But I did want to try to scale these different learning goals. So with the first one, and if I replace Halloween with just, project 1, the main introduction into this type of activity was to introduce the students to sequencing. So building, sequenced code. So something that follows a path. Programming multiple sprites through our program, multiple characters, and also utilizing sensing blocks within our platform. That means making our different sprites interactive. From there, I wanted to utilize those same ideas that we focus on for Halloween or activity 1, but also incorporate AI integration. So making it more interactive and also having the user, the viewer, have some interaction with the sprites themselves. Then moving from there, I did kind of omit the AI integration aspect of it by placing more focus on sprites interacting with one another and then also moving throughout the different environments. And then lastly, the most advanced project that I focused on was to use all of the components introduced throughout the other projects, but also utilize variables and also sequencing sounds and modifying, importing images into the program. So I know that might be a lot. Hopefully you guys are still with me there. So what did we actually do? So this is where it also gets fun here. So if you also want to think about it differently, you could always take the approach of deciding the holiday, picking the theme or the prompt, and then identifying which learning goals you wanted to focus on. So for the Halloween holiday, the prompt that we utilized was make a costume party. So Yuko, who is our lion character, you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. The activity here is Yuko is hosting a costume contest. You guys will see that in a moment. And that's the prompt, basically. Make a costume party featuring Yuko and incorporate all of those learning goals into your activity. For the Thanksgiving theme, activity 2, we focused on planning a family game. So pretty open-ended scenario here. Yuko is planning a post-Thanksgiving game for his family, utilizing those AI integrations, which we'll touch on when we move into UCode. Moving into that third project, or the holiday party theme, we decided to animate a gift exchange. So the prompt here, Yuko is inviting friends over for a gift exchange. How are those sprites going to interact with one another? And lastly, moving into my favorite one, and also, the last of the sequence, the New Year's themed activity. Yuko is planning a big fireworks extravaganza. So this will make a lot of sense when you start seeing how we incorporated utilizing variables and also sequencing different sounds. Great. So you guys probably actually want to see what we're talking about here. So I'm going to demonstrate all of these different projects for you guys. So that is kind of the next step before kind of turning this over to the kids. And following this example, to kind of reiterate, first, decide what tool you're going to be utilizing, set those learning goals, come up with your prompt or your objective for the point, and then also start demonstrating how you would solve that prompt. Great. So let me go ahead and open up UCode. Let me know if you have any issues kind of seeing my screen here. And let me see. Oh.
Rusty, I'm going to be the first to say I didn't know you could just double click the file and it would open UCode.
Oh, really?
I can go through UCode and file and open.
Yeah.
I have no idea. That's great.
So great. So you'll see, it'll kind of walk through a little bit, kind of demo what I did here. So this is kind of a performance utilizing that same prompt. So I utilized Yuko to do his own costume contest. So you'll see it may be a little bit more complicated looking than it actually is. But what I have here, my blue blocks are all my movement blocks of my sprite, versus my purple blocks are the different speaking elements. And then I have quite a bit of interaction that I incorporated here. You'll see I incorporated a background, different sprites that will appear momentarily. And I'll kind of just run through, what we're utilizing here. So notice I didn't really put any sound into the project here. That wasn't the main goal. It was really, introducing how I can create this sequence to, get the different sprites working together. So let me see if I remember exactly my different codes or my different sensing blocks. So you'll see they each tell a really dumb joke. Again, you won't hear anything. I didn't incorporate any sound. Let me see. And these are all sprites that I pulled from UCode itself. I actually don't remember. So I kind of skipped something. So then basically the theme is Yuko declares the winner. This ladybug drops down. They all get scared and they run away. So I kind of I messed up the sequencing, but I think you guys can see kind of what I'm working with here. The idea here was to have the students kind of think through logically how they could interact this animation, how they could play it, by utilizing different interactions in a sequenced manner. Any questions that you guys have along the way? Do you guys like this idea? I will demonstrate the next scaled activity that I played with here was utilizing these AI integrated blocks within the system. So again, that prompt was Yuko is planning a post-Thanksgiving game for his family. I decided my favorite game that I would play would be Pictionary. And it looks like, yes, we have a question. So UCode is similar to Scratch. So a lot of the same blocks we utilized for Scratch, we were cloned into UCode itself. So we can still create different games, animations. The difference here is that we can also connect all of this to external hardware, which is a lot of fun. So you'll see a much simpler code, if you will, but I'm leveraging these AI integrated blocks. So this is something that UCode does really well, in that we have the ability to plug in customized AI training models, object recognition, pose recognition, video drawing, drawing recognition and body segmentation. So
Hey, Ryan.
because I wanted to plug in this Pictionary element, I went for the drawing recognition model, which you'll see is loading from this sequence right here. I also have, you'll see these purple blocks here are also going to animate Yuko switching from his different costumes as well. Then you'll see that I have Ucode recognizing up to 86 different drawings. So we have a bunch of preloaded drawings here that I'll try to duplicate into the drawing window, which Yuko will then be able to address or guess, I should say. Oh, and that is a good question. How do you access those AI blocks? All of the AI blocks can be found under your extension drawer, which is this button here. You'll see I'm highlighting, it says add extension in the lower left-hand corner. So you'll see here, I do have a drawing board that has opened up. I'm not very good at drawing with my trackpad here, but if I do something, the one that I can always give to guess very quickly is a mountain, which is great. And it doesn't know, so that doesn't have a result there. But if I try to do a green bean, no, it's like I'm trying to do a fly or something. Maybe I don't even know what I'm trying to draw. A mosquito, yeah, we got it. One that I think is always fun to try to draw is I try to draw a cat. Animal migration, not quite. That is a horrible cat. Oh my gosh.
These are great.
It looks kind of like my cat.
Oh, I guessed it.
Oh, got it.
Yay.
So you guys might be asking, how is that AI what we're utilizing here? So this is actually accessing the same data set that programs like QuickDraw are accessing, where it's a collection of drawings that were collected on the web. So we're actually pulling from all of these different images that are all a collection of a data set as well. Really cool stuff here. So you'll see how this kind of scales and that we're still utilizing the sequencing that we learned in the project one. We're still kind of fitting in that theme of Thanksgiving, so we're joining it with our holiday, of course. And then we're also incorporating new stuff with these AI integration blocks. So the next one that I'll touch on, I don't have the full file for, but we do have this as part of an hour of code activity, which Christina mentioned, which I believe is on the doc as well. But to kind of go back to that original slide, so here we're focusing a little bit more on AI interactions and movements of the actual sprites. We're also plugging in some sound elements as well and interacting how we can kind of change and interact with the background. So if you'll see the actual video, what I did, and this is a project we actually did with students last December, but we had Yuko introduce and give different presents to different friends. So utilizing some of those similar sprites from the Halloween example, but kind of doing different interactions with them. So having that focus on the sprites interacting with one another. And then a good question about sharing the data set. So all of those are found within UCode themselves. So you can reference which data you're actually referencing by looking at the different images as well. And that's in terms of, okay. And so you'll see, I did set a voice the kitten, which will just make him meow. But you'll see this is a very quick intro. I actually don't have any interactions of the process, but let's see, now I'm applying some voicing. But I do think my sound sequencing was right on there. That sounds pretty good. Great. Awesome. So on to the last activity and how you can always in the year is this big fireworks show activity. So the prompt here was, UCO is planning a big firework extravaganza. You know, how can you build a large fireworks show utilizing variables, sequencing sounds, and also importing your own images? So this one is actually, there's a lot of different components working together here. So I'll go ahead and open up that project. Great. And so you'll see I have a lot of different sprites all loaded together here. UCO is still hosting the interaction. And let me make sure I get my sequence right. You'll see I do have a countdown in place. And then when we talked about variables, you'll see this fireworks show are all imported images that we cropped and created within UCode. And then we randomly size them and we randomly put them in a position. So we're utilizing, you know, different variables all working together to create a random assortment of fireworks, which is similar to how a fireworks show would actually happen, I guess. So let's go ahead and run through this one because this is fun.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year.
Also incorporate all these other elements. Now we have different sprites interacting together, having a really fun party. So again, these are, you know, just one examples basically of the ability to solve these different prompts. So this is something we would do for students, give them a similar prompt, you know, build a fireworks show, tell them the story about it, you know, set the different goals that they're trying to achieve with that project, but then let them solve that on their own. Giving them some examples, some prompting of how they can solve it, of course, is definitely helpful. So now I think we kind of want to transition and try something new and try to do a little bit of brainstorming with you guys on the call. So Christina, if you can help me out here.
Absolutely. And I can see the chats now, so we're good. So
Perfect.
yeah, that's always fun, this platform.
So yeah, what we'll do here is we're going to give you some parameters, and that parameter being your theme or your holiday. We're also going to give you a UKIT as well as some robot ideas. And what we want you to do is kind of share your ideas, think about how you can incorporate a theme or a prompt activity or a themed activity around those very few constraints. So we're going to ask you guys to interact with us and that, you know, put your thoughts into the chat, and we'll try to kind of come up with some different ideas. If we have some really good ideas, we'll definitely kind of work through a way to create them, or we'll ask you guys to, you know, create your own activities, you know, try them out with your students and share them with us. So Christina, do you want to introduce the kind of first prompting here?
Sure. So the beginner kit, we have a couple of our robots here. So you've got the grabber on the left, which you can see does not have wheels or anything. So it's a standstill robot that can grab. And then we've got the humanoid, which can move and shimmy around and dance. So we are having you think of Halloween. So that's upcoming. So think about Halloween in your mind. And using this kit with one of these two robots or both, what activities would you come up with for Halloween? So now we're switching from coding into the robot, the building itself, or the programming of the robot. So I'll start off just so everybody can have a moment to think. So Think of ideas for how you can incorporate these into a Halloween themed activity. And my first thought is that you could dress up the humanoid in a costume. So you could make it very artsy, right? They could decorate him and put him in a costume. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah. And so we want to give you guys some time to brainstorm and think through different ideas. And our goal here, that little note square at the bottom, think about that like your different sticky notes. But we want to try to generate quite a few different ideas that we can all work with. So whatever you guys drop into the the chat box, we'll try to fill in here, and hopefully we'll have some nice ideas.
So while people are typing in their ideas and coming up with stuff, we've got a couple of questions, Rusty, based on the UKIT. Can UKIT do a stickman light costume, and can UKIT control multiple LED light strings to match with music?
Yeah, with the UKIT Intermediate, you do have two LED eyes, which we'll touch on the next slide, which do have 8 individual LEDs on the interior, which you can program all independently. So you do have that ability for sure. I'm not exactly sure what a stickman light costume is, but it sounds super cool.
You've never seen these?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'll send you a video later.
Okay.
I would say probably not with this kit, Arnell. If you could program anything with LED light strings, it would be the advanced, in my opinion, and I don't know how you would connect that, but the ports on the MCB here, I don't know would work with that. But yeah, like Rusty said, we do have the LED eyes, and you can program all 8 LEDs in each eye, and you could time that to music if programmed correctly, I think. So that could be fun. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have any ideas or thoughts for what they would use those robots for as a Halloween themed activity?
And if no one has any ideas, I think, Christina, I'm typing in your idea of costume contest.
Do you want me to keep giving you ideas? I sure can.
Yeah, I love it.
I mean, the grabber would be fun to program to get candy, right? Out of a bag or out of a bucket or something, or maybe like the shape of different shapes of candy. You could experiment with what the grabber could grab the easiest, I guess, or what's the hardest for the grabber. And then my other thought, and this actually might go best with the next slide because we've got a trolley on there, but I was thinking of, so our TAP teachers, you guys, we have a teacher ambassador program, and one of them shared that she has the students kind of build out a neighborhood, and then the robots they create have to be programmed to go door to door. So you could do that with the humanoid, right? I mean, it would take them a while, but you could do the humanoid. Otherwise, the trolley would be a good choice for that.
So
too.
like a trick-or-treating humanoid.
Yeah. Like have a little trick-or-treating obstacle course or something.
I like that idea.
We've got idea of jumping spider prank with proxy sensor.
I'll just put in jumping spider.
Yeah, so you could do that. You have the IR sensor in the intermediate kit. So if you had something get close enough, it could respond, or maybe the ultrasonic sensor in the advanced kit.
Yeah, you could do that. Or you could even, if you're using just the beginner, you could just time it. So say, with that, waiting for it to activate.
Yeah, and once you get the intermediate, I know we're on beginner still, but once you get to intermediate and you have the speaker, then you could have it do some sound to scare or scream or
right.
Added things there. All right, I think we are ready for the intermediate kit if you are ready.
Let me share, and I'm going to keep the window.
Oh, look at all that.
Like this, but yeah, we have some ideas here. Not bad, right? Costume contest with the humanoid. I like candy dispenser with the grabber. I also really like this idea of trick or treating. I think you could combine these two ideas probably, right?
Oh yeah, for sure you could.
Like you could have, like a whole, you could build maybe even like a street or something that the robot is going door to door and the grabber's giving out candy.
Yeah.
There's some ideas there. I like it. And also, jumping spider prank, super cool. I really like that idea. I think that might work really good when you use those sensors. So,
right.
Let's move on. Different idea here. Thanksgiving themes. So how could we theme it around Thanksgiving? What are the themes of Thanksgiving? utilizing the intermediate kit. Particularly, we pulled out 2 robots, thinking maybe one or both could be utilized for this theme. Mechanical arm, which does use an IR sensor, 3 servos working together. And then also the trolley, which also uses IR sensor and like it looks is a vehicle robot with those LED eyes. So give you guys a moment if you guys want to start thinking, doing some brainstorming. What kind of activities could we do that are themed to the fall or Thanksgiving?
Do you want me to wait or do you want me to share?
Oh, start. Yeah, go for it. Let's do it.
So I don't know about anybody else on the call, but Thanksgiving for me equals food. So, I mean, we're thankful for lots of things, but food also, right? Our celebrations for my family are always around the meal. So I would say if you could get the trolley to deliver something to everybody's plate, or if you could get the grabber to like grab like silverware out of a bowl or something that it could hand off, I think that would be fun. Probably not like mashed potatoes or anything, but it could maybe rolls. It would be good at handing
Oh,
rolls
yeah.
to someone. Yeah.
So I kind of had a different thought. For me, Thanksgiving always reminds me of football. So
Oh,
what if you could set up some sort of football game, get the mechanical arm to launch a ball with the goal of having the trolley either push the ball to the touchdown area or even catch the ball. But how could you maybe somehow create with different robots, if you had a bunch of students, maybe 2 teams or so, one team has a mechanical arm and a trolley versus a mechanical arm and trolley, and they had to get a ball over to a touchdown area or something.
I
Just-
love that, like robot football. I
Yeah,
enjoy it.
robot.
It's fun. All right, the audience is pretty quiet. Anyone out there have any other ideas for ways you can incorporate these 2 robots into a Thanksgiving themed activity?
That definitely is a harder one. I mean, trying to pull, I think there's more themes around Halloween than Thanksgiving, right?
Right. Right. All right. So we've got
Bring beverages, yeah.
yes, you should have a robot that brings you beverages. That would be great. Yeah.
Let's put it.
And then building 2 robots, one's an Indian and one is a pilgrim. Yeah, you could definitely do reenactments, right? Especially if you can do like a humanoid type robot and then you could dress them up and you could have stories. They could have like a whole scene they act out for sure. That's great stuff. And we didn't tell you guys. So in this kit, you get the Bluetooth speaker, you get the IR sensor, you get those 2 LED eyes, and you get a touch sensor. So if you single press, double press, or long press, then you can have it do different things. So that could be really fun to incorporate the eyes in this one with a humanoid, right? So you have the eyes going or the speaker, so it would have sound. You could really do some fun stuff there. Great. Oh, yay. Beverage bringer. I love it. Good job with the ideas, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to the hardest kit yet. So if you guys have never seen our intermediate kit, it's over 1,000 pieces. Like I said, we switch over to Arduino now. So we've got text-based coding. We've got lots of stuff going on in here. If you play around in UCode, you can actually pull up all the robot builds. So there's 38 different robots that you can build with this one. And so here are 3. We picked 3. So December holidays, think of any holidays in December, not necessarily Christmas, because we know everyone celebrates something a little bit different. So December holidays, we've got an air guitar that has a sensor. So when you move it, it can play different notes. You've got the mover bot, which is grabbing and moving, and it has wheels. So this one can actually move. And then the infrared fan has an IR sensor with the fan blades. So any ideas for how you can incorporate these 3 into a December holiday activity?
And that mover bot does have a line following sensor.
Oh, right.
That could be fun to utilize.
Yeah, good call. Oh, Arnell is an Arduino user, so he's going to be super well versed in how to program the advanced kit for sure. And I know we didn't say all the sensors. So this one, then you add in the ultrasonic sensor, you add in the line following sensor, like Rusty said, the grayscale. But we also, in that circuitry kit, you get like oh gosh, I don't even remember, like a temp and humidity, and a buzzer and some other things too. So there's a
Right.
lot going on with this kit for sure. All right, Rusty, what ideas do you have?
I think I've got a lot, I think, for this one. I'm just looking at that fan. I'm thinking about like, cold weather, snow blowing or something. Maybe get that, or even like glitter. Oh, that teachers would love that, right? Yeah, just have the fan blow a bunch of confetti or glitter around the classroom.
Teachers do love it. It's the custodians that do not.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I don't know, putting that together somehow. Also, guitar. I mean, you could make if you're just focusing on the musical aspect, you could have a holiday band. A bunch of just focus on the guitars. There's a few other musical instruments that you have directions for, so you could write your holiday songs. So I'm gonna type that in here. I think.
I mean,
holiday-
jingle bells have got to be pretty easy to play, right?
Yeah, right.
We have Gabriella has said the mover bot could be like a snowplow.
Snowplow. Love it.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. You could definitely have it do that. I thought the little box looked like a package, so I would say it could move the packages under the tree.
Oh yeah.
But the snow, I thought of the snow with your fan too. That would be fun. Or if you could decorate the fan to maybe like look like a like wreath maybe, and then if it spins fast enough, maybe it would look like a wreath. I don't know. I don't know how
Oh,
fast
yeah.
you can get it to spin.
Like a wreath spinner, is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be. You never know. Or maybe
Yeah.
I don't know what you could do with it. So yeah, if you got that band going though, if you put like an LED eye on there or something, you could get some lights going on there.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Be fun.
Oh, that could be fun. I mean, also doing like holiday Christmas or Christmas light contests, who can make the coolest Christmas light display.
Oh, that would be fun too. Yeah, I like all that. All right. Anyone else have any ideas for December holidays that you could use these robots for? The other idea, right? So we didn't talk about the coding platform for beginner and intermediate, but that's an app based. Pretty limited. It's drag and drop coding, but not like you can't add a lot of stuff on your own. You can create your own codes, but not like you can with UCode. So it doesn't have where you have the scene and all that stuff, the stage mode and upload mode. So I would say with any holiday, you could do stuff in UCode like Rusty showed earlier. So anything you can think of like a scene to set or an animation or a game, that can all be done in UCode too. And that goes with our UKIT Advanced.
Right.
All
Awesome.
right. I think we're good for ideas, Rusty.
Great. Yeah, and thanks to all that are participating. This is kind of a new angle that we would like to try. We want to make these a lot more interactive in the future. So we hope that you can, also help us, generate different ideas. I misspelled wreath. I noticed that.
It's always hard typing when other people are
Yeah.
watching you. Okay, so recap of our session, don't limit yourself to your own idea of the holiday. Like you saw with Thanksgiving, I focused on food, but then Rusty reminded me there's football all day long. So, I mean, all sorts of different things. Try to think of things that relate to your students. Like, for example, if you're in New York, right, the Macy's Day Parade. I mean, a lot of kids watch it outside of New York, but if you're in New York City, why not build robots and have your own little robot parade? Or, just like, try to think of different connections you can make outside of the normal, like Thanksgiving is a turkey type of thing, there are so many teachers, you guys out there. I specifically follow a lot of them on Twitter that come up with fantastic holiday ideas. And there are lots of holidays that we didn't mention that are way exciting, right? Like you've got the 4th of May, right? May the 4th be with you, and doing Star Wars themed stuff. And just, there's so much out there. And you can incorporate robots in a very purposeful way, either more on the art side, and being fun with it, or you can take it into, making some sort of math problem, or maybe an engineering design problem, or a science, question, having them create a hypothesis and doing that whole process. So you can take it a lot of different ways. Don't be scared to incorporate robots and coding into your holiday activities. So we leave you with one last question. Are there any other activities that you have that you do in your classroom, maybe now or not, that include coding and robots that you would like to share with the group? If so, go ahead and type those in the chat or the Q&A, and we will share those out loud with the group. And while you're doing that, we'll skip to the next slide to give you some time to chat. Rusty's going to talk to you about professional services real quick.
Yeah. And we always do kind of want to remind you guys that we are a full service company, in that we want to be there, for supporting, education at every step of the way. And we really do mean that. Chrissy and I are both former educators. To help educators be successful with the different UBTECH tools, we do offer in-person and virtual training options. So if you want more interaction or more specific help trying to, tailor the tools to your specific site and your specific needs, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We love, and we really mean that, we love visiting with educators, getting educators' perspectives, and making sure that they're successful utilizing the tools. Because the more successful you are with the tools, the more you'll use them, and the happier you'll be with those tools. And our tools can really make an impact on students. So we want to make sure you guys have all the support that you need. So just if you need any help with any aspect, don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to hang out in Q&A for a second. And since no one shared any activities, because you're all a little shy today, and that's okay, I am going to plug away our TAP teachers. So in the chat, I put in the link to our Teacher Ambassador Program page. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see the 8 fabulous teachers who are joining us this year. You can find most of them on Twitter. If not, they're on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, all of that jazz. But these teachers do a fantastic job of sharing their activities on social media, so you can find different things. But we also have a new page we've just started, and I will have to say it is my fault that this is not more populated at the moment, but we will get there. So we do have TAP created lessons and resources. So those teachers that you see on that first page have gone through and created some lessons. So we've got a 5E on breathing robots, a 5E lesson, excuse me. We've got a coding activity on animated holiday cards. So that goes with our theme today. And there's one up there for rock, paper, scissors. So we will continue adding to that page. Please follow them and watch this page for all the new additions that we have. We got some questions. Let's see.
Oh, great.
I am about to open a startup. Ooh, Arnell's going to open a startup STEM education program. That's fantastic.
Oh,
Arnell, you're welcome to stay on and chat with us if you'd like, or if you want to reach out to us following this, you are welcome to, and we would love to chat with you more about that.
Great.
Anyone else got any Q&A, any questions for us, any thoughts, ideas you'd like to share? Okay, before you jump off, we're going to go to the next slide, and we are going to show you that our next webinar, which is the last live webinar of the year, you guys, in December, we do Hour of Code, so we're not going to have a monthly webinar that month that's like this. It will be much different. So we're going to talk about creating impactful STEM and robotics content November 9th, and we're hoping that the scheduling will work out that one of our TAP teachers can join us. If you have not been on our webinars yet this year, we've had them in several different ones and several of them. So please go back and look at the recordings. They come with a lot of great ideas on activities and how they incorporate not just our robotics, but robotics and coding in general in their classroom. So please make sure you check those out and join us next month if you're interested in STEM and robotics.
Great, yeah. I hope to see everyone next month for sure. Great. So again, remember to connect with us. Also, if you'll visit our website, we do have a webinar tab, which you can sign up for the last one next month. And then visit us on social. Yeah, again, make sure you guys reach out to us if you have any questions at all, any questions or concerns. Yeah, great.
If you guys could please fill out that survey, like Rusty mentioned, this was our first one trying to interact with you guys. It's really hard, right? Talking to a blank screen, which you know. So feel free, please tell us anything you thought about it. If it was awful, that's great too. We want to know so that we don't do it again. So please complete the survey. We do take that feedback into consideration and it really helps us out a lot.
Absolutely.
So thanks for joining us, everybody. Arnell, please get in touch with us. We'll stay on for a little bit if you want to chat with us. But everybody else, we will see you next month.
Great. Thanks, everyone.